Hey everybody, welcome into the Betting Pros live stream for week 10. Goodness gracious, week 10. Every time, Matt, by the way, when I think of like the week, I'm like, week, and then I realize how late somehow we are in the season. I don't know where it all goes, but it's me, Dan Harris. That guy's Matt Perrault. He's fine. I missed you guys last week. Sorry about that. Covering for somebody else, but this week I'm going 3 straight hours. Let's go. This is hour 2 of 3 straight hours. Go over to, if you have any fantasy questions, go over to youtube.com/fantasypros after this. Matt, how you doing? How'd you hold up last week without me? Not as fun, right?
No, not nearly as fun. A lot more talking for me. So it was a lot more heavy lifting. And by the way, we're cutting out 10 minutes early so Dan can prep for his next hour. So don't get mad when we cut out at 50 past. Just FYI, if you got questions, get them in ahead of time because we're going to be out of here a little early.
Yeah, I will remind everybody of that just so everybody knows multiple times because I know people are slow to join at bills as we get closer. I have a couple of props. I will give them out. I have one that I'm confident Matt will trail. I don't know
Good.
why I think that.
I need one from you. I always leave that one slot open, so I've got 3. So I
do you have other ones already out there already?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I haven't given them out yet, but I will. I have them. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. All right, Matt. How do you want to start, bud? You want to go with one of your favorites? You want me to just go down through the list?
Can we just talk about how much I hate this entire day? Can we just talk
about
sure.
How absolutely.
Much this slate absolutely completely is awful. I
Go
can't.
for it. I hate it.
I hate this slate. There are so many games in it that I do not have. This is when the books make their money. Like this is when there are so many, like nothing jumps off the page to me this week. Nothing is like, if I do like it, there's another storyline or an injury or an issue that causes me concern. And I'm like, give me pause. I know you're all over the Browns. Trent Brown playing changes the entire game. Okay.
Yeah.
The Browns are going to have to get pressure on Mac Jones. And with Trent Brown coming in, it changes the whole offensive line for the Patriots. And if they don't get pressure on Mac Jones, I know Damian Harris is not playing, but I think the backups, I think Stevenson could have a monster game today for the Patriots. You got a dink and dunk offense, and if all you need is a half a second, and if Trent Brown gives them a half a second more to stop Myles Garrett and company, it could be a real big problem because I don't trust Baker Mayfield up against that Patriots defense. I just, and you can say they run the football, Matt. They run the football. Okay, I understand that, but what does Belichick do? He takes away what you do best. So you're not going to run on the Patriots. You're going to have to throw on them today to win. And that means Baker throwing into that secondary. So, I don't know what the hell to do with that game. A part of me says Patriots are going to win the game outright. Another part of me says Patriots are going to have a tough time because their defense, they don't stop the run. So if the Browns can run the ball, they play ball control. Okay, take the under. I hate taking unders. This is where I'm going to every game. The Seahawks and the Packers, same situation. The Saints game and the Titans, same situation. I'm very frustrated today, if you can't tell.
So it's first of all, on our Betting Pros podcast, we do our 3 best bets of the week. I think I'm 16-11, so the good record so far for it. And I did, first of all, I have 2 picks here in this game where I do have the Browns and I do have the under. My question, Matt, is are the Browns a very, very chalky play at this point? Because when I took them, I did not expect them to be. They're not.
It's a sports betting chalk play. Everyone in sports betting is on the Browns. The public is all over the Patriots. But it's when I see this many people in our business on the Browns, I get very concerned. It's the same thing with the public. If there's a consensus opinion on one side, whether it be Pro or Joe, I start to go, I don't know. This is my team, and I've seen this story before. And Baker against Bill is a bad matchup.
I think for me, I don't really know how good the Patriots are. And I have struggled with this a lot, Matt, throughout the season, because again, they're 5-4, right? And 4 of their 5 victories are 2 are against the Jets. One's a squeaker against, the Texans. One's against Sam Darnold and the Panthers. I haven't gotten it yet. And I think the Browns are a legitimate team. And I think that they play better without Odell Beckham Jr. Now, you're right.
Why? But why? What's the evidence that the Browns are a legitimate team?
The evidence that the Browns are a legitimate team are, number one, their overall DVOA ranking, right? And I know you love that. Okay, fine. You throw out DVOA all the time. What I think is that
I do it too. I use DVOA. I look at DVOA. I look at the college version and the pro version. I know Football Outsiders. I mean, I look at it. It's just it's on paper. I mean, it's
okay. That's fine. No. You're right. Look, it's absolutely fine. I do think, number one, without Odell Beckham Jr., there is evidence that Baker Mayfield plays better without him, which a lot of us were just kind of throwing out for a while because it's like, you don't, I always think of it, Matt, with the Knicks as growing up and like how there was always the argument of like, they're better without Ewing. When Ewing's out, like they're just better. Like they play better when they play small with Allen Hughes and stuff like that. No, you weren't actually better without Patrick Ewing just because you could win a game or something like that. So I always thought about that with Beckham, but I do think that Mayfield felt pressure to force the ball to Beckham and that made him play worse. I think they're rallying behind this. I think they have a great run defense. Okay. So number one, right there, you can stop the run. Their cornerbacks, as they get healthy, is a decent pass defense. So I think overall with their pass rush, their ability to stop the run, their defense is definitely above average. And I agree. The offense isn't elite. You don't have a legitimate wide receiver at this point. Jarvis Landry is your number one, but they are one of the best rushing offenses in the league. They're well coached. I think they're an above average team. I don't know whether or not the Patriots are an above average team right now. I just don't. I don't care about Damian Harris being out, Matt. I don't think Damian Harris is that big of a plus. I think if Stevenson plays, assuming that he's going to clear, we'll find out in a half hour, but everything suggests he will. That's totally fine. Totally replaceable guy. And it's funny because, Matt, I thought I was going to be on the wrong side of this. Like I was like, I'm taking the Browns. I don't feel good about it. I'm sure everybody's going to be on the Patriots, but it is funny to me that the sharp bettors are like coalescing around the Browns
because they haven't come around to it yet. I mean, I've been talking about this. I think the Patriots are going to be 8-4. I think that, and when they get to 8-4, then everyone's going to wake up and go, oh my God, where'd this come from? Yeah. And it's going to be like, and what they're going to do is they're going to go through the schedule. And like you did, they're going to say the Patriots have not played anybody of note because the next two games are complete layup cupcakes for the Patriots. Yep. And then they play the Bills and they play the Bills 2 times in 3 weeks. And we'll find out. But the Patriots are in the race for this division. They're in the race for the AFC. I mean, the AFC is wide open. And I just think today's going to be a very interesting game because I don't buy the Browns as a good team overall. I think Kevin Stefanski had a really good year last year, and I think he's got big problems. I mean, I think if Chubb was playing in this game, I probably feel totally differently. But I just think that's a team because they rely on the run. They don't have their best running back. So I know they've been able to kind of mix and match and throw different players in, but for 1 week, 2 weeks, okay. But you're giving Belichick a chance to prep for these guys.
Yeah,
he's going to be able to watch.
Fair. No. I look. This is an easy way for Bill to say, I get to know exactly what you do best and exactly what I want to take away and let you beat me otherwise. It's a good point, and I think it's there.
And look, I teased it. I mean, I'm not like totally saying I gave him 8.5 points. So I teased the Browns up and I took it at 8.5. Yep. And I took the Eagles, which is now a pick. Last night I took it at plus 1.5 up to 7.5. So that's one of my two teasers today. Okay. And I'll have 3 teasers going because I have a long teaser I'll give out here in a second. But those are the 2 plays. I'm not sitting here telling if the Browns win the game outright, I'm not going to be upset. I'm on 8.5. So that's fine. I don't know that game. I mean, it's snowing right now in Green Bay.
Talk about that game, Matt. Let's talk about that game because that game, people, I don't know what to do with that. I'm not kidding. Like that's a game where I originally came in, and again, another one of the picks on the BettingPros. Right now, it's 3 pretty much across the board. It was 3.5. I got it at 3.5, and I liked the Seahawks in it just because I understand that Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest of all time, but I think that him having not even being able to be in the facility for 10 days, the team losing 10 days of practice time with him, and I know it's like, it's Aaron Rodgers. Who the hell cares? That is a big deal when you are prepping for a matchup against a team. How good is Russell Wilson going to be in this? I mean, everything I've seen, again, Dr. David Chow basically said, Wilson should be fine. The deep ball accuracy could be a slight issue in this one because of the finger as he gets used to it. But I do wonder or not, what we're going to see here from Rodgers.
Look, this game is so frustrating because last week we saw what Aaron Rodgers is worth. Okay.
Sure.
The books gave him 6 points. Now, everybody in Vegas the bookmakers in Vegas have all been interviewed and they've all said the same thing. When the number came out at 5.5, when it opened at 5.5, it was baked in that both Rodgers and Wilson were already going to play. So the books were already saying, look, they're playing. We're going to book it like they're playing. So here's number at 5.5. This number has crashed all the way down to 3.
Yeah.
And after Rodgers gets cleared, the number goes to 3.5. And now we're down to 3. Right. So I'm going to assume that they know something I don't. So I teased the Seahawks up to 9.
I had them 9.5 before it went down. I teased them up to 9.5 as well.
I just like, okay, you guys must know something that I don't in terms of like what I'm watching in Rodgers' revenge tour, and you're not buying into that narrative, and Rodgers might be rusty, and like, okay. I still can't figure out that Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show and declared he had symptoms. He did. He said, "I have a headache. I've got a running nose, a headache.
Okay.
I've got cold symptoms."
Yes.
And the league is saying you're asymptomatic. Like, he wasn't asymptomatic. He literally declared it on live stream that he had symptoms.
But that was a week ago, right? Isn't it once you're asymptomatic?
No.
Go ahead.
If you have symptoms, you are 10 days minimum out. 14 days minimum out. Okay. So what the league said is if you're unvaccinated and you have no symptoms, then it's 10 days to 2 negative tests in your back. He must test negative twice, and so he's back. But it's just, this whole thing has been such a cluster for everyone involved, whether it be Rodgers' comments and everyone's like, he's really mad, so he's going to come back and play like fire because he's angry that people are making fun of him for his comments on Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Look, whatever. It's just, I am really surprised at the movement of this line going to 3.
Do you want any part of it then, other than teasing it up?
No.
Okay.
I don't want any part of this entire week other than teasing it. This entire
Incorrect.
Week.
This is our job, Matt. I
know it's part of our job, but like, okay, so what are you doing with the Saints and the Titans?
I have the Saints +3. But I had the Saints.
That's the other side of my teaser. I took the Saints to +9. So I have Saints +9 and Seahawks +9. So
that is a game that I'm on, Matt. Now, here's the thing, dude. I'm so tired of betting against the Titans. I'm so tired of it. Like, I had the Colts in that game, right? Where you felt like they were going to do just every game. I thought the Rams are going to be able to win by a touchdown. And I love the Titans. The Titans are one of like our Harris teams here, right? Because, that was my son's first game. I love them. I love Tannehill. I love Henry. AJ Brown might be my favorite player in the NFL. They're a well-coached team. I had in the prop bet league, that one where we draft prop bets. My first bet was the Titans to win the Super Bowl at 40-1. Like, I love them, but they are not this good. The Saints, I think this is a good time to sort of buy low on them after what we saw last week. I think even without Kamara's huge. But the line didn't move, Matt. Like that, did the line move very much once Kamara was out? No,
it
didn't move.
It was just like, whatever. It's like, wait, what? I mean, look, whether it be Trevor Siemian or whether it be, the Swiss Army knife at quarterback, I don't know what to make. The only thing I can say is this, and this I'll tell you my first prop bet that I've got.
Yeah, go for it. And then I'm going to give mine.
I actually have 2 prop bets in this game. I have AJ Brown under 6.5 receptions. It's juicy at -140.
Yeah.
But I think AJ Brown, I think Lattimore shuts him down, and I think this is a low scoring game, and I don't think AJ Brown does much today.
What else? I mean, how is AJ Brown I love AJ Brown. And what's funny, Matt, is like, if from a fantasy standpoint, again, when I do projections and I rank them, and he still comes out high just because at like matchups to me only move so much. Lattimore is fantastic, but obviously we have seen not in the number of catches. That's what's interesting. That's where you're going. But you obviously saw DK Metcalf, admittedly an offensive pass interference on that play. You saw Mike Evans score the touchdown. So you've seen some guys succeed against him. And he does move. The only thing I will say about that, Matt, and I doubt it, is that, look, the Titans are well coached. They're going to try to find a way to scheme up to get Brown away from Lattimore, and that's probably going to mean
7 receptions. 7's a lot.
Oh, I agree. I don't hate the bet. I'm just kidding. I don't hate the bet. For me, but what I can see, they're going to move him to the slot. Brown runs out of the slot like a third of the time. Lattimore never travels to the slot. So they'll get him away from him in that sense. But without Julio Jones, man, that really sort of just takes away, like, who is the second weapon in that offense? And you got no Derrick Henry. So I don't mind that bet. I'm going to, hold on. Let me just give the bet. This is actually our pick of the day. So you may have seen it, Matt. This is where it came from. But it's DK Metcalf over 70.5 receiving yards.
In the snow.
In the snow. I couldn't care less about the snow. I don't care about the snow whatsoever. It goes, what I care. We care about, Matt. Wind.
Well, how's the wind? Do we know anything about the wind in Green Bay? It didn't look windy.
I don't, to be fair, but I
saw the live shot. It didn't look windy.
It's not like a blizzard there, right? Like, it's not like, is it?
I mean, there's snow on the ground. I mean,
there's snow on the ground.
It looks like Green Bay, Wisconsin in November.
That's fine. Yeah. Green Bay, that's fine where it is. But yeah, I don't really care. Metcalf's about to go off in this game. Against King, forget about it. This is going to be a monstrous game for him. So wherever you are, betting, fantasy, go for it there. Okay. So you're just what?
I have a second prop in that game too.
Oh, go.
How do you feel about Adrian Peterson rushing today?
I don't think he's going to be able to gain many yards, Matt. I hope you're not going over on a yard prop. Okay,
under 35 and a half yards rushing.
I'm fine with that.
Peterson.
I'm fine with that.
How many carries? How many carries do we need to get Adrian Peterson 35 and a half yards rushing? 10, 12?
37 carries. No, I mean you never
3.5 yards. Just do the math. 3.5 yards a carry. He needs 10 carries to get this. I mean, are we think could he pop one off? No, I don't think so. So my other prop bet in that game is Adrian Peterson under 35 and a half yards rushing.
All right, I'm going to give a prop. You're going to hate this prop,
Okay.
But I'm giving it, and this is kind of my plant the flag of the week type guy. It's Mike Williams, who has done nothing for 3 weeks, 5 receptions, 2 catches.
I think I've been burned twice already this year on him.
All right.
I
don't think I give out. Maybe I do. Anyway, this is going to be a monstrous game for Mike Williams. And the one thing is, like, I've been sort of fading Mike Williams a little bit of late, and just generally speaking, both in fantasy and in prop betting, I've been taking the under. I've been winning. But against the Vikings right now, I mean, once Patrick Peterson went out, I assume Bashaud Breeland's going to play, even though he's been nursing an injury, but he's really not good. Cam Dantzler can't stop him. This is a game where they are going to be able to pass. They're going to need to pass because I do expect this to be a pretty high-scoring game in this one. They're going to pass all over the Vikings, and it's going to be a lot of Keenan Allen, and it's going to be a lot of Mike Williams. He's going to get a ton of work in this one. He's going to catch at least one big one really deep shot. This one's going over. This is actually one of my favorite prop bets of the week, man, personally.
How do you feel about the over in that game at 53 and a half?
Yeah, I lean over, Matt. It's a lean. It's not a strong one. So that's where my other one is. Let's talk about it. So what are you doing, by the way, with the Saints Titans at 3, other than teasing up the Saints? Staying away at 3?
I have 2 teasers, a third with the Wong, and that's it.
So no actual spread bets. Okay. That's fine.
I hate this card so much right now. All
right.
I mean, I don't even know. I'm so mad that the Raiders and the Chiefs are playing in primetime because it's like I want to bet the under in that game, but I vow that I won't bet any more unders in primetime. So, like, I'm furious because I think the market is totally underappreciating what the Raiders defense has done this year. And I think they're not recognizing that the Chiefs offense is not what the Chiefs offense has been. But I told myself I wouldn't bet unders anymore. And so betting the Raiders at home against the Chiefs scares the hell out of me. And I'm not really in love with it. So, I don't know what to do.
I'm with you.
As I said, I'm frustrated. I'm very frustrated with the state.
All right. Well, we're still going to go through them. By the way, I'm leaving this up right now. Everybody keeps asking about the Wong teaser. They don't know that the Wong teaser comes at the end. So I'm leaving up the Wong teaser is coming. Everyone relax.
It's only 8:15. Relax.
I know. Everybody gets very excited. What about the Bills laying 13 in New Jersey?
All right. So this is one of our picks in the taking the Jets in this, taking the points with the Jets. Now we took it at 11.5 in the circa for the Daily Juice team. The number now has gone up and climbing. Now it's 13. It's one of those weird games, but just FYI at WinBet, the New York Jets money line is their number 1 liability of the day.
What?
Yep. WinBet number 1 liability for the day is the New York Jets at plus 475 to beat the Buffalo Bills today.
Why? What?
Because everyone loves them. Everyone loves the juice, and they think that Mike White's going to beat them. I mean,
that's not happening. Just so everybody can understand.
I mean, that's. I mean, I have it starred on my notes. I was like, "What the hell are you guys doing betting this? Like, it's not cover, not cover, but to win the game outright is the number 1 liability of the day for WinBet."
Well, Star Lotulelei is out because of COVID, we just heard. So, I mean, maybe that changes the whole dynamics, but everybody relax. Okay, they're not going to win that game. That's ridiculous to me, but whatever. And I know you hate every game, but generally speaking, with the Jets now at 13, you're not interested in dabbling on the Jets at that spread number?
I mean, I was interested even at 11.5, to be quite honest.
Okay.
I think the Buffalo Bills offense has got some big questions right now.
And we talk a lot about the Chiefs, by the way, but, the Bills are kind of dealing with a little bit of the same thing right now.
And I don't love, I mean, no matter what he does, me and the quarterback are never going to get along. So I'm never going to.
You're going to fade him for the rest of your life, huh, Matt?
No, I'm just never going to jump on the bandwagon of this like MVP candidacy type quarterback with the accuracy. He's fixed the accuracy. All right, maybe, but he's missing a lot of throws. He still misses a lot of guys who are open, and that Bills defense is having a tough time running the football. So, you could be kind of one dimensional. But I mean, FanDuel is reporting The bet count, 58% of the bets are on the money line for the Jets. So it's not just WinBet, it's also FanDuel. The public is on the Jets money line here to beat the Buffalo Bills. At minus 13, it's pretty much 50-50, 57-43. Handle more money's on the Bills as you'd expect here. But man alive, it is still the public on. You want to watch a game. If the Jets win this game outright, that's going to be bad news for the books here today. I don't see it personally, but okay. I mean, do the Patriots more favors, please. I mean, keep on losing.
You're
a
Jets fan today, baby. I know.
Yeah, like keep on beating the keep on beating the Bills, and keep on giving the Patriots an opportunity. They're half a game back right now. If they win and the Bills lose, the Patriots are in first place in the AFC East.
I'm very, very excited now that apparently tens of thousands of people get to come on board with me, root for those Jets against the Bills. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. I don't have a great sense of this spread personally, but I'm staying away.
Here's the interesting thing with FanDuel that just popped. So we were talking about the Saints and the Titans, right?
Yep.
This is one of the bigger reverse line movements we've seen. 84% of the handle is on the Titans, but the number just moved to 2.5. So the money. So this is only 16% of the money at FanDuel is on New Orleans.
Sure.
But the number is moving towards the Saints. So that 16% is very respected money that's moving this down. So, I mean, again, it's the Saints defense up against this Titan offense, and it's basically saying that the Titans are not going to be able to move the football. I don't know how on the other side. I'm not sure how New Orleans moves the ball personally, but okay. I mean, that's the bet basically, and I'm surprised we don't have 62% of the handles on the under. I'm surprised there's not more, but 43.5 is the low number. That's a really low number. Ooh.
That's so fascinating to me. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It feels to me a little bit like this might be a year where the Titans just kind of, model busters a little bit.
And I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm on over 9.5 wins for the Titans. So like, I'm totally comfortable with them blowing, Titans, Bengals, Raiders. Those are my three of my 5 bets on overs. Just go ahead and, break every model and show up and make all the pros and experts look like idiots. I'm all for it. Like, that's great. But this is a wild game to me in terms of what the professionals are thinking that New Orleans, that what's going to happen with this offense for New Orleans. Okay. I mean, this is going to be, Saints, Seahawks, Browns, yuck.
I love it.
Just yuck.
All right, how about the this is an interesting one, Matt. The Falcons visiting the Cowboys. I think when it opened early.
No, it's not. This game's not interesting at all. Wait, what is interesting?
Downer. I haven't.
What is interesting about this game?
2 weeks.
This game stinks out loud. Like
why?
What is? Because the Falcons are awful. And I'm on over 7.5 wins on the Falcons, but they're awful. I would love to see them win this game. I would love it, but they're awful.
I mean, look, you're not in any way impressed with what the offense was able to do last week against a good Saints defense, Matt. I mean,
no, because I learned it on my honeymoon how much those two teams hate each other because I had no idea. My wife and I went to New Orleans. It was during Falcons Saints week, and we were every bar we were into, there were like legitimate fights breaking out between Saints and Falcon fans. I was like, where the hell did this come from? I had no idea. Now that was 9 years ago, but I had no idea the Saints and the Falcons had such blood hatred for each other. So anything happens in those games, I chuck it out because it's just straight. These franchises despise each other.
Okay. So you're just like, all right, glad that they did well in that game, but it's because they hate each other. So I give no.
I mean, look, it's. I thought about fading Gage today and kind of looking at the passing attack and saying like, okay, it's going to be everyone's betting Patterson, right? Everything on him, touchdowns, rushing, receiving. Yep. It's all about him. So I thought about taking a secondary and saying, okay, who's the third or fourth option that might not get the football? But I mean, 8 points is, I don't know, handle is 62% on the Cowboys today. I wouldn't bet this because I hate the number. If it was 7, I'll take the Cowboys. 8, I'm not taking it, but I'm sure as heck not taking the Falcons today.
Ooh. I mean, it started at 9, right? Like earlier in the week when I looked at it, and now it's down to 8. It's 7.5 at FanDuel. I don't know. I kind of think the Cowboys are going to destroy them. That's probably. Just like a gut feeling. Without, I'm not betting it though, just to be clear. No. All right, that's fine. The Colts laying 10 to the Jaguars. Just came across that James Robinson is going to play today. So he is in the game.
All right. This game is interesting only because of betting. If it wasn't because of betting, this game wouldn't be. But this game at a number of
40% of NFL games, by the way. But
right,
go ahead.
But 9 to 10.5, that swing going across 10, which is
when was it 9?
It was 9 last night. It was 9.
It was? Oh, okay.
yeah.
Because I looked at it early in the week, man. It was 10.5. And so now I'm
it
looking
was
at
9. It was 9 in Vegas last night. It's back up now.
Interesting.
It's
I would
back
have
up.
taken the Colts at 9 any day of the week and twice on Sunday. I mean,
Really?
oh yeah, Matt. I think the Colts come out. First of all, the Jaguar. Come on, you ever get a letdown spot for the Jaguars? I don't know if I've ever seen that. You have a letdown spot for the Jaguars after beating the Bills, which, by the way, was like the ugliest game you ever saw, and just as much like a spirited effort by the defense. But the Colts are a really good football team overall. Like, they're not an elite football team, but they're a very solid football team with the offensive line playing as well as it is with Jonathan Taylor, with Carson Wentz. You have Michael Pittman, and the defense is very solid. You have a hobbled James Robinson. Like, I would take it. I might take it. I would probably be fine with it at 10, but at
it's
not
10
under
now.
10.
Yeah, it's 10 across the board in Vegas.
I'm not betting it. I'm not betting it, just to be clear, because it's, again, you're right. As much as I'm teasing you, it's an ugly week. So whatever. But
it's 50-50 right now. Handle at FanDuel, and so you got money split right down the middle.
All right.
Win bet is at where is win bet on that game? So they are pretty much the same. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, it's an ugly game. It's 56, 48, 46, whatever. Yeah. So it's pretty much similar. But it's the thing about this game for me is that there are people on the pros who are assuming that the Jags fix something and that the Jags are going to be able.
Some pros are assuming that.
That's why the number went down. It was pro money that drove that thing under 10.
Interesting.
And then came back and bet it back up.
Can I tell you what I think? I honestly think that pros and they
bet numbers. Yes, they don't think at teams. They look at numbers and think 10 points is too much on their power rankings, and they go ahead and bet it regardless of the teams, the jerseys, or whatever.
I understand that they beat the Bills last week. I get it. So like whatever. But I do think, Matt, that there are some things where I think professionals don't care about and don't capture that are real, such as like a disaster like Urban Meyer. And look, they beat the Bills last week. So maybe you're like, well, right. I mean, you can't just fade them all the time. But I think his, generally speaking, lack of adjustments, lack of ability to sort of, get them going. By the way, Trevor Lawrence isn't even 100%, right? Like, he has a low ankle sprain, like not a big deal.
But I think the pass rush on Carson Wentz off the edge, I think that's one of the things. They saw what Jacksonville did last week and how they put such pressure on the quarterback. I think that's one reason why the pros think it's going to be a 7-point game, because Wentz will make mistakes.
The idea, you think Carson Wentz is going to make some stupid mistake? Who's thinking that? I'm just kidding. Sorry. Yeah, no, I guess that's fair. That's fair. I put that more on the Bills last week to really, I think that the Bills offense, again, struggling from a little bit of what the Chiefs are, which is you got them people are taking away the explosive plays. They're sort of, trying to figure out where he's going to go. And Josh Allen, I don't think Josh Allen morphed into Patrick Mahomes last year or anything like that. Like, he's good. I like Josh Allen more than you do, but still, I agree that there are issues there, but I put that more on them. How about, Matt? I won't say interesting because you yell at me. The Bucs are visiting Washington, and it's 9.5 at this point.
Well, this is a game I almost teased down, and I think this is going to be a big teaser number. But I think the reason that it backed me off of it was because of 9.5 and not 9. And there's a reason why it's not 9. It's because they don't want to go to 3, so they want to go to 3.5. I've been trying to tell people that I think Washington's going to be in this game.
So do I, Matt. I hate saying that, but I do think that. I think they're going to be.
I think the Bucs without Antonio Brown and without Rob Gronkowski, we've seen this offense have some problems. So, I mean, everyone's like, Brady's going to throw for 5 touchdowns. This Washington defense is overrated. Well, okay, but I don't know. I've got kind of a soft spot for this Washington team, and I think that their dink and dunk offense. I really do. I think you got to look at Ricky Seals-Jones and others potentially having a decent receiving game here. I think they're going to throw on the Bucs. I really do. You can't run on them, but I think you can throw on the Bucs, and I like Heineke. I really do. I think he's fun. So if I had to bet it, I would take plus 9.5, but I couldn't bring myself around to it just because it's the Washington football team.
I basically feel the same way. I'm not ashamed to admit it. So, Matt, with the Browns in the past, we talked about it at the top. Just to be clear, I am on the Browns. You are sort of stay away, but I don't know if it was on Discord. You're teasing it. You're teasing it up with the Browns getting 8.5. I teased it up as well. I forgot what the other leg of my teaser was. But you are also, I don't know if it was on Twitter or on Discord. I just follow you in so many places. But where you said something about live betting it. That's what you think you're going to wind up doing?
Yeah, this is a big live betting day for me. So if you guys are Daily Juice listeners, I've done a little experiment, Dan, over the last couple of days. I've been posting my entire card, and it's been a pretty good week by doing that. So like one of the things about betting overnight is that sometimes you get victimized for a variety of things, injuries, news, weather, whatever. And so, when I bet overnight on the Daily Juice in the morning, a lot of times I'll get information right before kickoff, right before tip off, whatever, and I'll make different bets. So the last 4 days I've been loading my entire card, and yesterday was really good. Yesterday was the best of the 4 days, but I've won 3 of the 4 days by doing that. So people are like, are you posting your full card again? And today I'm not gonna be able to do that because I'm going to be live betting a lot of these games. And so the number, by the time I post, the number is probably gone for where I'm going to be eyeballing it. But I mean, I'm eyeballing the total for this Patriots game against the Browns. I'm eyeballing the Patriots depending if the Browns get the ball first and go down and score, and we get plus money on the Patriots, or plus points on the Patriots, I'll fire on that. I want to be watching this Titans game and see what the Saints look like. And if the Titans score first and we get a bigger number with the Saints, I may be firing. I'm already on +9, so maybe I won't do that, but I'll have a lot of eyeballs on where we are in the first quarter for these games, because I do think this is a really good live betting opportunity today.
All right. Inactives are starting to trickle in. I will let you guys know when it is. In the meantime, if you are watching this and you are not subscribed to this YouTube channel, that is, by the way, how you can comment in the chat, which we will take some comments. But please just click the subscribe button. Cost you nothing to do. We're going to be doing a massive giveaway, by the way, for our YouTube subscribers coming up here, which we will announce at some point in the next probably week or so. So subscribe now, get in, and drop a like on the video. Would help us out. Really easy way just to support it. All right, Matt. Let's keep going here. The Steelers are home against the Lions. Obviously, no Big Ben, and it has dropped from, I feel like it was, 8.5, somewhere around there, or whatever. It's now 6. What do you think with Mason Rudolph? Yeah, so I've got it at 6. I've got a 5.5 at DraftKings.
It bounced back up. Okay, it was 5.5 this morning. It's why I didn't use it as a teaser, and now it's 6.
It's 5.5 in a couple spots, but it's 6 at BetMGM.
It's 6 at Westgate. It's 6 at Circa. So Vegas is at 6 as well. And I think that's because people are teasing it. So I think that's one reason why you're seeing it back going to 6. I can't touch this game. I think the Steelers are a bad team. Yeah. I could see the Lions being in this game. I've been wrong on the Steelers. I bet them under 8.5 wins. That's probably not going to be correct. That's going to be a loss. So I think they win this game today. Yep. But if the Lions are going to win a game, this might be it.
Yeah. So stay away from me. I don't back Mike Tomlin at home as a huge favorite under any circumstances.
I think he's 10-17 at home as a favorite against spread.
It's so funny because it's like just a very obvious and clear and understandable pattern. This is what it is. He gets everybody up when they're underdogs and on the road, stuff like that. And then when they're home, they're just constant letdown spots. So there's no way I could take it. Certainly not. Even though, by the way, you look at how Ben has been right now, it doesn't look all that different from Newton's active today. Cam Newton. He's not going to, apparently he's not expected to start, of course, because PJ Walker's going to start, but they do think they'll have a handful of plays for him. So that might, I don't know, might factor in on the goal line there, might take away a couple touchdowns here, but we'll see. So the Vikings getting 3.5, Matt, in Los Angeles against the Chargers.
What do you got? It's actually better now. The number's 8. The number with that Cam news, the number just moved.
Oh, really?
It's down a point. That's wow. It's 8 at Westgate, 8.5 right now at Circa. That's
Jonnu inactive, Matt. Jonnu Smith. Adjust your whole thoughts on it. Jonnu Smith inactive.
Well, Hunter Henry really has been the number one target anyway. So I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. Yeah. Nobody cares about that.
There was that one game where it was like, wow.
No, there's no Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith, other than a blocker.
That's really going to be interesting. Okay, so, well, I'll just let it go because the Cardinals are going to be part of the long teaser. So that's that's actually better. So we get a better number now.
All right,
on that. So that's good. I like that a lot.
How about the Vikings getting 3.5 from Los Angeles Chargers?
So like we were talking about that a little. Hi, garage door opener.
Yeah, it's always. Don't worry about it. It will never not. The weird thing is, I've got another live stream right after this. We're ending 10 minutes early today, by the way, guys.
Yes, FYI.
I've got to cover for another guy here on the FantasyPros side for the live stream. She'll find a way to open it during that too. I don't know how. I don't know what she could possibly need to do, but she is my wife, and I'd like to stay married, so she gets to do whatever she wants. Go ahead.
I hear that. Okay, so you've got the Austin Eckler is my third prop. Okay, over 36.5 receiving yards.
Yeah,
and I'm leaning towards the over. I in the circa. Everyone loves the Chargers, so I'm comfortable laying the points with the Chargers on a circa pick.
Yep.
I don't know if I'd bet it.
Okay.
Because I don't think you can. I think you can run all over this Chargers team. Dalvin Cook, don't care if he's there or not. I mean, everyone's like, well, what about the distraction? I don't think there's a distraction. I thought long and hard about taking Dalvin Cook rushing yards today, but they're so high. I was like,
I know.
I couldn't do it. It was just like, I can't go that high. And so like, I was like, okay, what's going to happen? I think it's a high scoring game. I'm leading 50, over 53.5 from a total perspective. I lean to the over. So that's why I'm going to take Eckler to be a heavily used weapon out of the backfield. Yep. And so I have him over 36.5 yards receiving for Austin Eckler.
Okay. I don't mind that at all. Nothing exciting here with the actives and inactives other than Trent Brown, as you mentioned, and Ramondre Stevenson is officially up as expected. So he is good to go there. So, and I'm checking other ones. Chris Godwin is in. Everything is good. Yeah, very little active or inactive stuff that's going to mess with anything. Okay, let's keep going here, Matt. So talk about it now. Panthers and Cardinals. I see a bunch of books now at 8. I see some still at 8.5, but so now it's 8. So this becomes part of your teaser.
Well, it was anyway. At 9, it was going to be part of my teaser at 9. But this is why we wait till kickoff, and you wait until you get. And now I don't think this number goes to 7. If it does, oh my gosh! But I think this is probably the low point for this. I would maybe get some buyback to get it back up again. But here's the Wong teaser. Okay, I am taking the Cardinals from -8. The total is 41.5. It's a low total. And we're going to tease this down to 2. We get to go below 3, which is significant to me. Okay. Now basically just becomes a Cardinals win the football game situation. Win the game by 3 and we win. Instead of getting a push on 3, we actually get a cover on -2. So Cardinals, even though it's a 4:00 kick, I understand that. So but I give it out here. There's not many Wong teaser options here today. That's why I'm doing this now versus waiting. Normally I like to do both Wongs in the 1:00 window versus the 4:00 window.
I'm with that.
But 41.5, Cardinals -2. And then I'm taking the Saints from +3 up to 9 out of a total of 43. Very low total Saints Titans. So Wong teaser is Saints +9, Cardinals -2.
All righty. Let's put it up here. Let's put it up here. There it is. Cardinals -2, Saints +9. Yes. Very good. I like it. I like it. Okay. All right. All right. Very good. Now I assume though you
7-2, by the way. We're 7-2 in the long teasers on the live stream.
7-2 with the Wong teaser. That's what anybody cares about. I love it. Okay. So but in terms of the 8, you don't want any piece of that either way, right?
7 I would, not 8.
Okay. And I don't think it's. I mean, I don't think Cam Newton moves it. I'm surprised Cam Newton moved it at all. And
maybe it wasn't Cam. Maybe that wasn't the reason why it moved, but it did move, and it's moving. I mean, it was 10, and it's coming down. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the total is only 41.5. So when you have a low total like that in a double digit, I mean, all you need is any offense whatsoever out of Christian McCaffrey, and you could wind up getting yourself into an over perspective, into a closer game perspective. Yep. I hate the Panthers. I mean, I think they're just, I've been against them a bunch. Sure. I've won money going against them. I've lost money going against them, but I just think that offense is broken with Darnold, without Darnold, with PJ Walker, without PJ Walker. I don't think Matt Rule is that good of a coach personally.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. This one, Matt, has moved. I had this when the Eagles were getting 3. The Eagles are now getting 1 in Denver. I'm not really sure I get it. Do you know?
It's a pick. I mean, it's a pick here. I mean, let's see.
Is it?
Move back to 1. Yeah. Now
I've got it at 1.
Now the Broncos are -1.
Yeah.
I got it at 1.5, and I teased it up to 7.5 last night. So it's Browns, Eagles +7.5 is one of my teasers. Getting over 7 is really important. So I would not bet this now with Eagles +1. I would not bet this. I think the Broncos are going to win the game. I don't like the Eagles, and every time I say that, people are like, oh, but this and oh, but that. I just don't like the Eagles. I don't like Jalen Hurts. I don't like their offense. I don't like Nick Sirianni, but I think the game is close. Total's 44.5. I don't like that Broncos defense. It's overrated. And, they essentially punted on the year and didn't tell the team because the team still wants to play hard. So I think it's a close game. I like Eagles plus 7.5. I could see the Eagles winning it outright, but I also see that there's a potential there where Teddy Covers comes in and does his thing.
Yeah. It's
last week was a fluke, just FYI. Okay. Beating the Cowboys the way they beat the Cowboys. I don't think the Broncos turned a corner.
Yeah. I think that's right. I don't know, man. I back the Eagles every freaking time, and I feel like I don't have a good sense of them. That's fine. We talked about the Seahawks and the Packers. I don't really think we've talked about the Chiefs, Matt, and the Raiders here, 2.5.
And by the way, I need that. You said I was going to like one of your prop bets, so don't get out of here without giving you that prop bet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the one
I have a hole. I have a hole in my prop bet.
I thought the one you were going to like was DK Metcalf, but obviously you did. That was actually the one that I thought you would like, but obviously
I don't know. I don't mind it. So what are your so DK Metcalf, and what else do you like?
I like Mike Williams a lot, Matt. I know you won't. You don't have to trail it. It's fine.
Why?
I
just lose money on Mike Williams. I love Mike Williams. I lose money on him a lot.
Fine. So this is the one that I would do above everything else is Mike Williams over. Here you go. Over 62.5 receiving yards. That's the one. That's my favorite.
Over 62.5. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. All right. You're in. You're trailing.
Yep.
Good.
Let's do it.
Fine.
Yep,
That's it. That's it. Okay. I'm gonna leave up the wonk teaser. I don't want everybody mad. Yeah, that was the one. The other one I have, you're definitely not going to like, Matt, because I do think that there's going to be a lot of points here, but I do expect the vast majority of the offense on the Chargers to come from Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison. So I'm actually fading Kirk Cousins' passing yards a little bit. The Chargers are very, very good against quarterbacks. They limit production of wide receivers. So I have Cousins at under 268.5, but that's something where that's my least favorite.
Because they're going to run the ball all day.
Correct. They're going to run the ball all day. So that's what I think. You can run the ball all day. You and I could run the ball all day on that. All right, Matt. So what do you think of Chargers and the Raiders?
I lean Raiders at the moment. And it's Chiefs. You mean Chiefs Raiders?
Chiefs of the Raiders. Sorry. Good enough.
Right.
Have my other copy.
I lean Raiders, and I lean them at home. I think the Chiefs have. I think the Raiders know they can beat the Chiefs because of what happened last year. And I think Waller could have a really big game. I'll probably be involved with more prop bets than anything else in that game. I don't know if I'm going to bet it at 2.5, but in game, I definitely want to take a piece of something in game for that. But I want to see, can the Chiefs move the football at will on the Raiders defense? Raiders defense is sneaky right now, and the pass rush is much better. They've eliminated some big distractions. 2 players are gone who are causing big issues. And I just think, I don't know. I think this team right now in primetime at home, let's see what the Chiefs do. I don't know. Everyone's on the Chiefs. Everyone loves KC tonight. I don't know.
It's got to be a public play, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, Chiefs are always public. I mean, whenever the Chiefs play, they're all public. FanDuel, that's the number for FanDuel here? Actually, it's like, yeah, there we go. 75-25 handle all over the Chiefs.
I have FanDuel at 3, by the way, as the spread for FanDuel.
Yeah, I mean, they're reporting 2.5 on here, but yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting because I know what the money's going to, I mean, maybe we get 3.5. Like if we could find a way to get that. I've had such bad luck in prime time with same game teasers.
Yep.
And it's always on the total. I get the side right all the time, but I get the total wrong, which is why they give us these options of doing same game teasers. And so it's like, my gut tells me to tease that total up and take the under. That's what, but primetime unders are really scary when you're talking about Patrick Mahomes on that fast track and Tyreek Hill against that secondary. So it's
you have to feel like at some point they're going to figure this out. Like at some point they're going to figure out how to fix.
No, because they can't run the football. The Clyde Edwards-Helaire injury, nobody is talking about this. I can't figure out why people aren't talking about the fact the Chiefs can't run the football. That's why they're struggling. If they figure out the running attack, KC will be KC. But if they can't run the football, they are not going anywhere this year. Anywhere. They'll be bounced early in the postseason. If they make the playoffs, they've got to find a way to run the football, and they cannot run. And the Chiefs' offensive line against that defensive line for the Raiders, I don't know if tonight's the night they do it.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's tonight. I don't know if it's as simple as they can't run the ball, but whatever.
They can't run. I give a step before, but the Chiefs are running No team in NFL history has made the playoffs running the ball less than 30% of the time.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are at 29% of the time.
Yeah. What are they? What were they last year? That's really my question about it.
I mean, come on. They run the ball effectively all the time. I mean, that's where Clyde was hilarious. They've run the ball effectively the last 2 seasons.
Last year. I mean, he was fine.
They've had runs.
All right. It doesn't matter. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're
on
right.
average.
Maybe you're right. We'll see. But they should try to run it today because you can attack the Raiders on the ground, certainly much more than with wide receivers and everything like that. But yeah, this one's going to be interesting, Matt. Primetime game in Las Vegas for, possibly the division. It's going to be interesting. Last one. I really want your thoughts on it. 49ers are at home against the Rams, and they're getting 3.5. This one, I think it opened at 4, might have been 3.5, but it hasn't really moved very much this week, right? Unless I'm missing something. So what do you think about this?
Both circuit teams are on this. I will be most likely on this as well. The lower the number goes, I want 3 to put money on it. Yeah. But I think the Rams win. And I think the Rams have more talent. And there's just something funky going on with the 49ers right now that doesn't make me feel like they know what they want to do. And I think this defense is going to eat. I think the Rams defense is going to go off. And I'm very curious to see what Von Miller does. I'm very curious to see what Von Miller in this defense, what he's capable of doing. Because I think it could be a long night for that offensive line for the 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I look at it, Matt, other than the fact that it's a divisional game and divisional games are always funky and that the 49ers have a way of basically looking really good when you think they're dead and looking really terrible when you think they're good. And Shanahan better as an underdog and stuff like that. Like, I take out all like the stuff like that generally factors in. It's hard to see the Rams not destroying them in this game, which is why it's been surprising. Do you have a sense of the split on the money and the bets and everything like that on this game? Because I'd be interested to hear, because it strikes me as like this is a professional spot for the 49ers.
Oh, there's no debate in that. Yeah.
And it's a public play on the Rams, right?
You're looking at right now, WinBet is reporting at 3.5, 87% of the handle, 95% of the bets. Oh, no, sorry, flip that. 95% of the handle, 87% of the bets are on the Rams. So pros and Joe, same side. Everyone. If you want to be real contrarian, take the 49ers at home. I want 3. I don't want 3.5. If I'm going to take the Rams with money, I want 3. And it's massive reverse line movement, right? So you get 95% of the money and the numbers come down. So to give you an idea that the professionals are going to fade hard here and they're going to take the 49ers. If this number stays at 3.5 or goes back up to 4, I don't think it's a bad spot taking the 49ers. It's always one of those disgusting things in prime time. But as you mentioned, games in division can be funky and strange. And a Rams win by 3, you're good.
All right. So we got a couple of minutes here before I got to go prep, redo my makeup, all the good stuff for my FantasyPros live show. I'm kidding. I don't wear makeup and I can't look better than this, which is the horrible part of me being on camera all the time. So I mean, Matt, I guess, first of all, what's your circuit cards? Let's do that very quickly. Let me know what your circuit cards are.
So the circuit cards are for the Daily Juice circuit team, Colts minus 10.5.
Yep.
Jets plus 11.5.
Okay.
Titans minus 3.
Okay.
Packers minus 3. Rams minus 4. My personal team is Browns plus 2.5. Chargers minus 3. Packers minus 3. Eagles plus 3. Rams minus 4.
Okay.
But I mean, just FYI, the DJ team has 20.5 points and my personal team has 22.5 points. So yeah, the leader has 34 to give you an idea.
Oh boy.
How far behind we are.
We're gonna need some 5-0 weeks there, my friend.
We're not finishing in the money. The whole point now is third and fourth quarter polls. Like, just we have to be hot these next. You can still win $200,000 by going third and fourth. I mean, this is people forget. They're like, oh, you're so far out of it. No. Yeah. I never get into it to cash anyway. It's always about trying to be hot for 4 weeks. Like, if you can be hot for 4 weeks and go, 19-1 or 18-2, you can get yourself. You can cash and be in the top 3 and win some money doing it that way. So that's the goal.
All right. That's going to do it, guys. I'm sorry. I got to go. This is the last time I'll have to leave early. I got to run, but
let me recap real fast.
Yeah, recap.
So here are the picks. The last night Daily Juice pick is Browns 8.5, Eagles plus 7.5 teaser, Saints +9, Seahawks +9, teaser, and all three of these are one unit. And then the long teaser is Saints +9, Saints +9, Cardinals -2. That is 7-2 on the year. My props are Eckler over 36.5 yards receiving, Adrian Peterson under 35.5 yards rushing, AJ Brown under 6.5 receptions, and Mike Williams over 62.5 yards receiving.
Yeah, trailing Mike Williams. Sorry if I'm wrong on that one. Yeah, that's mine. But if I am, I want you to at least shout it out on the juice. I am also over DK Metcalf over 70.5 receiving yards. I know there's a guy out here who wants DK Metcalf anytime touchdown. Don't hate that one either. I'm also leaning Kirk Cousins under 268.5 passing yards. If anybody's in on that, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for coming by. Hang out in our Discord, okay? BettingPros.com/chat. You can hang out. You can talk about it with other bettors, with us, all the good stuff. In the meantime, I got to go do another live stream, third straight hour. We'll talk to you.